Living on the edge and loving it, guys. Listen, I will be the first one to admit that when you suffer a tough loss, you feel that you are never getting a break. But I am here to tell you that for all the years that I've been gambling, for all the years that I've been in this business, more often than not, the breaks go in your favor. But granted, when you are on the losing end of that bad break, forget about it. You can't see the light at the end of that tunnel. Hell, you can't even see the tunnel sometimes. But case in point, SMU, I had them as the 18th ever 30-time college football play of my career on Saturday. Mustangs blow a 3-touchdown first half lead. The game opens at Pick'em, moves up to 2 with SMU. Game is tied. They kick a field goal with 9 seconds left, and they win by 3. And I pick up the win, as do you if you got the play from me. Then yesterday, I have Tampa Bay, and it doesn't look real good with Tampa Bay down by 21 points in the first half. But Tom Brady does what Tom Brady has done so many times in his career. 5 touchdown passes, leads the comeback. Tampa Bay wins by 7. And you're saying, yeah, but they were laying 7. But if you know me, listen, I was recently diagnosed with a very rare form of leukemia. But I think on my tombstone right there, I'm going to have engraved that when the line crosses 3, 4, 7, and sometimes 10, you always buy the half point accordingly, because that is the single most important factor that has made me more money and saved me more money by turning potential losses into pushes and pushes into wins. But I know I'm preaching to the choir, because if you aren't a convert, well, that's like trying to sway a Democrat to vote Republican and vice versa. It's just never going to happen. But I did it yesterday, bought the half point down, told you to buy the half point down, and Tampa at 6.5, winner. And that was another raise the bar 20-dime release, my biggest play of the NFL season, and number 2 in a row, because I had the Buccaneers last week at Denver as a raise the bar 20-dime play. And again, you know my MO after all these years. If I'm winning, I'm pressing the action. Tonight, the early game, Kansas City and New England, NFL winner number 7 out of 8 to start the season, football winner number 9 out of 11, college and football combined to start the season, and winning day number 16 out of 22 overall, my normal top-rated 15-dime release, and you get it again as the half-price play of the day by using coupon code HALF, H-A-L-F, just like yesterday's winner, just like Saturday's winner, as I continue to show you that you don't have to spend big money to make big money. And as far as that quirky little stat, let me update you once more. For those of you that are newcomers, it's something that I followed over the past 15 years or so, where I've noticed that if you can simply pick the straight up winners over the first 10 to 12 weeks of any regular season in the NFL, you will find that they cover at an 85 to 90% clip. Now, of course, if you could just simply pick straight up winners like that, well, you wouldn't need me. I wouldn't need you. I wouldn't be running these sites. We'd be mega millionaires. Gambling would be easy. They wouldn't even call it gambling. They just call it guarantees every single week. Well, looking at my little scratch pad here, let me just tell you that yesterday the straight up winners, including Thursday night's game, 10, 2, and 1, 10, 1, and 2 against the spread. The only loser, the LA Rams. Shame on you. Sean McVay, you're ruining my quirky little stat. 10, 1, and 2. And for the season, the straight-up winners are 48, 10, and 3 against the spread. 48, 10, and 3 against the spread. In terms of underdogs and favorites, so far this week, going into the 2 games tonight, the favorites are actually underwater. They're 5 and 6 against the spread. Of those 6 underdogs, yesterday you had 5 of them winning outright, starting with Thursday night's winner on Denver, plus Carolina, Cleveland, Minnesota, and Philadelphia getting the job done. And that is something that you'll find is a trend that also seemingly always holds true, just like last week of the 6 underdogs, of the 8 underdogs that covered the spread last week, 6 of them won outright as well, which is something else that you often have to consider, that I've noticed over the years, that it leads to sometimes an interesting play on the money line. Just something to consider, that if you truly like an underdog, not as your primary play, I'm just saying as a secondary play, if you really like that underdog, maybe it's worth a secondary investment on the money line. Because look at these quirky little stats early in the season. The straight up winner wins outright at an 85 to 90% clip. The underdog, right? Winning outright. These two stats go hand in hand first 10 to 12 weeks of the season. So wouldn't it make sense to make a secondary investment, if you like an underdog, a secondary investment on the money line, if that money line is a substantial number? To me, a substantial number would be $1.25 or more. Just something to ponder here as you're looking at your investment strategy. Again. So let's take a look at tonight's game. Obviously, the best bet for me is the early game between Kansas City and New England. The late game, Green Bay is a 6-point favorite. It was a 7-point favorite. Jesus, how can you bet the Falcons in this game? I mean, they've blown double-digit leads the past 2 weeks against the Bears and Cowboys, losing those games 30-26 and 40-39. They lost their opener 38-25. Did the Falcons play any defense? No. They allow 351 passing yards a game, allow 463 yards a game overall. The Packers are coming off that 37-30 win last Monday at New Orleans, or was that last Sunday at New Orleans? Before that, their only home game, 42-21, doubling up Detroit. Opening game, they won 43-34 at Minnesota. They have a bye next week. Couple of things that do concern me about the Packers, however. For as good as Aaron Rodgers has been, Devontae Adams is going to miss his second straight game tonight. What's the guy that's stepped in his shoes and produced for them? Alan Lazard, I believe, is the guy's name. He's been the primary receiver with Adams out the past couple of weeks. For the Falcons, Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley, with hamstring and ankle injuries, respectively, are expected to be in the lineup here tonight. I think the Falcons are obviously going to score because the Packers' defense, nothing to be impressed with again. 30, 21, and 34 points they've allowed in their first 3 games. I don't love the game. I'm just being honest. If I had to play it, I would go ahead and lay the points with the Packers because the Falcons haven't showed me anything defensively. And I can't imagine the Packers are going to have a letdown after beating the Saints and then wanting to go into the bye week and blowing a chance to be a perfect 4-0. And although the Falcons have shown me they can put points on the board, and the Packers have certainly shown me to be a sieve defensively, their sieve isn't as big as the sieve the Falcons have. If that is the right grammatical use of the word sieve, I'm not too sure. But does it really matter? Because you're not grading me on my grammar at the moment. So I do like the Packers. I think the total is interesting at 56.5 points as well. You have 2 teams that I think easily can get into the 30s here. 31-27, even there, you're looking at 58 points. So I like the over in this contest too. So Packers and the over would be the way I would go. That'll do it. Best of luck. Talk to you again.